Hi everyone, this is Melanie and welcome back to She's Stitchin'. I'm doing a little bit of catch up today from a week that I was sick, and this is our Primrose Stitch. So the pattern was already posted on our Facebook group, but I'm going to go ahead and make a video for it now for all of you who have joined us a little bit later. And if you're not doing the crochet along with us and you'd like to work up this stitch, all you need to do is a starting chain of 30 stitches plus 1. Now for me, because I like straight edges, I went ahead and did the first row in all single crochet. So once you do your first starting chain of 31, you're going to skip 2 chains and go back and do a single crochet all the way across so that you have the first row of single crochet. So you can do that while I chat about the stitch a little bit. This is out of my Caron 1 pound. It's the size 4. Here's the label on that. It's a size 4 in a soft sage. That's the soft sage here. I also have my my soft gray mix, the pale green and the Cape Cod blue, and it's a really dark blue. That's kind of hard to see. So that's what the crochet along is. This will be my square in there. And then this is something I just worked up out of all the scraps that I had laying around. It's called Primrose Stitch because it kind of looks like a flower. So I didn't have a more traditional green, but you can imagine if these rows were green and then each row would look like a row of flowers. And I even tried it in the middle with a variegated yarn that changed color every 3 stitches. It's double crochet, so it looks pretty cool. And then I have some other samples to show you. Let me get that out of the way. It's a big mess. This is out of a Simply Soft. A Caron Simply Soft, and it's out of one of the yellows. I can't remember right now. But you can see it's really beautiful in one color. And I used a little bit of a bigger hook on this. So our crochet along, you're going to be doing this stitch with a 4.5 hook. And on this, I think I used a 5. So it's a little bit more of a lacy version, but it'd be really pretty for a light scarf. So that's the goldenrod. One color. And then I also worked it up in like that traditional baby yarn. That's variegated, and you can see it looks really pretty and delicate. It does look pretty from both sides. Alright, so let's jump into the pattern. So I'll meet you at the end of our row of single crochets. Okay, so now we're gonna make sure that you have the 29 single crochet plus the turning chain. And then what we're going to do is chain 2, 1, 2, and then we're going to go into the third one, the third single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, and that's where we're going to go. And we're going to do a single crochet, and then chain 2, 1, 2, and then single crochet again. Pull through 1, and then pull through 2. And then what we're going to do is skip 2 spaces and do that again. So 1, 2, we go into the third space with the same thing, a single crochet, and then chain 2. So that's what we're going to do all the way across. And if you think of this as like a rose stitch, this is like as a flower, I mean, the primrose, you're going to, what we're doing right now is like the leaf row. Okay, so skip 2 and go into the third one. So 1, 2, 3, go under both loops, do a single crochet, then chain 2, 1, 2, and then into the same spot, single crochet. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that all the way across, and I will meet you for the last repetition of this, okay? Okay, so I've got 6 stitches left here, so I'm going to do the last repetition with you, and then I'll show you what we're going to do for our turn. So 1, 2, and we go into the third. We do a single crochet, a chain 2, and then another single crochet. And then we're going to do chain 2, and then what we're going to do into the end is just going to be a half double crochet. Okay, so the way we do, sorry, my yarn has a weird twist. So the half double crochet is just going to be a yarn over, place in the turning chain here. Sorry, we want to make sure we get through both of those pieces of yarn. And then yarn over, pull through one, and then yarn over, pull through all three. So we end with that half double crochet. There you go. So we're going to end up with 9 bumps, 9 repetitions of, we can call them single crochet V-stitches, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, okay? So this is row 2, and this will be the row that we repeat the whole rest of the pattern on all of the even rows. So you can see this row here is row 2, then row 4, row 6, row 8, row 10, row 12, all the way up until however high you want to go. Okay, so so then we're going to turn and I'll show you row 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and start row 3. Now what I'm going to do is a little bit of a fancy stitch here. It's called the Chainless Standing Double Crochet. It's from the Moogly Blog, and I've been doing this in all of my tutorials, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. So you can give it a go if you want to, and if not, you can just do a chain 3. So the Chainless Standing Double Crochet, the first step is you're going to turn your work, and then you're going to want to make sure that you are holding tension here. So you pull this up to about the height of a double crochet, and then you're going to wind it around here so that, oh, I need a little bit more height, I think. You're going to wind it around here so that it looks like a yarn over. And then you're going to place under the front loop and the back loop of this stitch. So we're going to go through both of those loops, just like that. And then you can see what that looks like there. So then we're going to yarn over through the back, and you have to make sure that you're holding your tension with that finger, with your pointer finger on your hook hand. And then pull through. So then it looks like we've got 3 loops on our hook. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2, and then you can let go of your tension and yarn over and pull through the last 2. So that's going to look like a chainless, like a double crochet. So that's called the Chainless Standing Double Crochet. And if you'd like a more in-depth tutorial on that, I'm going to put a link in the description to the Moogly blog so that you can check it out. She's got a great tutorial on that. So now what we're going to do is the flower part of the primroses, so the petals. So it's going to look like it's got 3 petals. And what we're going to do is just super easy 3 double crochets in there. So that's an American double crochet, so we start with the yarn over and pull loop up, then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so we're going to do that 3 into that same hole. There we go. So you can see we've got the 2 single crochets here on the side, and those are going to look like, I guess, the leaves. And then we're doing all of those into that bump where that's created from the chain 2. So let me just make sure that you're seeing that on the next one here. So all 3 are going to go into the same hole. So yarn over and do 3 double crochets all into that same hole. 1, 2, and 3. There you go. So it's super easy, especially if you've done granny stitches or block stitches or something like that before. The first project I ever did was a granny square blanket, so I am super pro at doing these 3 double crochets in a row, right? So just go ahead and do that all the way across, and I will meet you at the end to show you how we're going to turn. Okay, so now we've reached the end of row 3. So you can see I've got the 9 roses. And then the last thing we're going to do into the end here is we're going to just do a double crochet into the chain 2 from below. So go ahead and yarn over, and then we're going to come down and find that chain 2. So we're going to go in the front loop and the back loop of that turning chain, and then do a double crochet. There you go. So now the rest of the pattern is just going to be a repetition of that. Row 2, then row 3. So if you hang on a second, I'll go ahead and grab another color, and we can do the next row of primroses in a different color, and I'll also show you how I did the color change. Row 3, or yeah, row 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to show you how to do row 4 with a color change. So I'm going to hold my yarn with my 4 fingers like this, and I'm just going to do a slip knot to join the yarn on. So we wrap it like that, and then go under the bottom, and then we're going to pull that top one down and hold here, and then pull the loop through, and then we've got a nice slip knot. And then what we're going to do here, so if you're not changing color, you're just going to start with the chain 2. But if you are changing color, what we're going to do here is a half double crochet so that it matches the end of the row. So what you're going to want to do is hold a little bit of tension here, just to make sure that doesn't flip around, and yarn over once, just like you would be starting a half double crochet if your slip knot was attached to something. And you're going to place your hook in the first stitch, under both loops of the first stitch, and then you're going to pull a loop up and through. And then if you remember, the half double crochet is you pull through all 3, so just go ahead and pull through all 3. And there you have a standing half double crochet. Now what we're going to do is, you see here we have our group of 3 double crochets. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our little, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do the same thing that we did in row 2. Okay, babe, just a minute. So we're going to do a single crochet, and then a chain 2, and then another single crochet in the top of those 3 top of the middle double crochet from that set of 3. Okay, so then you're going to skip 2, and that will get you into the top of the middle double crochet from that row. Okay, so you're going to insert into both loops, do a single crochet, chain 2, and then another single crochet, and then we're going to do that again. Find that middle one and do a single crochet, chain 2, and then another single crochet. So go ahead and do that all the way across, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so here we are at the end of the row. Looks like my single crochet came out a little bit. So we've got the single crochet, chain 2, and then another single crochet all the way across in each of the middle of those double crochets. And then the last stitch is going to be just like the end of our last row. So we're going to chain 1 and then do a half double crochet in the top of that turning chain there. So through both of the loops and the half double crochet to end off the row. So that's the end of row 4, and that's what's going to be what you're going to repeat the whole way. William, don't play with that, sorry. That's what you're going to repeat the whole way, all the way up for all of those even rows. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to turn, and like I said before, you can do the chaining or chainless standing double crochet or a chain 3. So I'll do that chainless standing double crochet one more time with you. This yarn is starting to come apart, but it'll still work out okay. So you're going to pull that up to the height of a double crochet and hold your tension here. Then wrap it under and around, and then go through the front and the back loop of this first stitch here. Yarn over, pull loop, then you looks like you've got 3 on. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So it looks a little funky because this yarn is starting to separate, unfortunately. Alright, and now what we're going to do is 3 double crochet in all of the chain 2 spaces, and that's what we'll do all the way across. And that will be the end, what you will do all the way up through the end on the odd rows. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 3, 5, 7. Oh, there's a tie in the middle of my yarn here, but that's okay. I'll just keep going for the video here. So you can see it does also look cool if you change color this way. William, you have to not play with that if you're going to stand by mommy. Okay, so 3 double crochet in the chain 2 space all the way across. Definitely some problems with this yarn. It's just something out of my stash that I liked the color of. Alright, and then 3 more double crochet. And that's what you're going to do all the way across, and go ahead and do that until you get the height that you want. 2, 4, 6, 10, 12. So it took me 13 rows, but everybody crochets different, so just keep going until you get that size that you want if you're doing the crochet along with us. And I like it better if it ends on the double crochet row as opposed to this other row, just because it's not as straight. So do keep that in mind. So I hope that you like this stitch, and I'm excited to see the color combinations that you choose. It's a really fun stitch. And it goes really fast, and it's pretty easy. I think if you were to take out that chainless knitting double crochet that I was doing at the beginning, this could totally be a very easy stitch for a beginner. So please, if you would like, I have an Instagram, a Tumblr, and a TikTok, and a Reddit, which I don't really use, but I'll put all the links to those in my video description. So for our future squares, make sure to like and subscribe. These squares that we have in the background here, this is the bean stitch, which is one of my tutorials. This is the cluster V stitch from quite a few weeks ago, and one of the feather stitch here in the background. Oh, my son says that he wants you to give the video a thumbs up. And I wanted to give you a little bit preview of my next video. This is a stitch I am working up and I'm creating. Just give you a quick peek at what is coming next. So I will see you next week. Please make sure to like and subscribe. And if anybody asks where I am until then, just tell them she's stitching.